Hello, everyone. My name is Jin Xin. I come from Department of Media and Communication and Center for Communication Research, City University of Hong Kong. And my research interest includes computational method and political communication. And today I'm going to show you one of my recent research projects using text mining to examine the role of topics of election promises in predicting election results. Election is one of the most popular topics within political communication research, which has been paid a lot of attention to, especially the predictors of election results. For example, the demographic, party effect, personal image like clothing, gesture, and smell, and political funding, media strategy, and some other factors. Well, the election promise has received less scholarly attention. What is election promise? The promise made by candidates to voters in their campaigns and discourses, for example. Assume that I am a candidate and I would say that, okay, I will promote the medical condition of our city. In fact, it is important for voters to evaluate candidates from prospective beliefs about candidates and make a voting decision. And, voters have their own policy preferences. For example, if I am a voter, maybe I would focus more on the medical condition instead of the animal protection. And the candidates who can implement my preference in his or her election promise will maximize the chances of winning the election. I just want to identify different policy focuses of different candidates. So one efficient way is extracting the topics from election promises computationally. And compared with some traditional quantitative way, for example, just like the content analysis, computational way could save both manpower and time. In this study, the data of candidates is the 2018 local council election of Taiwan. This data will be used to answer the following two questions. The first one is, how can we extract and quantify topics computationally from election promises? The second one is, do policy preferences exist in the local council election in Taiwan? If it exists, which topic of election promises could predict a successful election result? The data source is the Vote Taiwan, and it is a voter guidance website, and we use web scraping technology to scrape the data. And on this website, the election promise and other political information of each candidate are publicly available. This is a demonstration of our variables. For example, the election promise, and of course it is in the form of text, and previous councillorship, age, party, all of these are the independent variable. And our dependent variable, the election result, 0 is equals to non-elected and 1 is the elected, and some other factors. According to the previous literature, when we do the topic extracting, both supervised and unsupervised methods were commonly used in machine-based political text mining, but all of these have some disadvantages. For example, for the supervised machine learning, it requires high-quality rating sample and leak efficiency. And for unsupervised machine learning methods, just like RSA and LDA topic modeling, they focus exclusively on word occurrence and pay little attention to word context. Based on this situation, we employed word-to-vector, and it is a context awareness method for distributed representation of words and phrases. And we also combine the k-means clustering to extract topics from election promises. First, we just do the very general data processing. For Chinese, there is no space between every two words. So the first step, we just do the word cutting and then stop word dropping. Second, we use skip-gram model of word-to-vector. So why it is skip-gram model? Because it is able to accurately represent the infrequent words for a small training sample size. And for the election promise and words, it is a very, very small size sample. And the basic principle of skip-gram model is that it is to predict and predict the output word at position t-1 and t+1 based on the input word at position t. So after the automated training, we got 6,665 distinctive vectorized words with 300 dimensions. Subsequently, we use k-means clustering to form clusters of words based on the vectorized value of each word. And the DB index was employed to pursue the best clustering effect. Simply speaking, the DB index, the basic principle is to pursue the maximum between group difference and the minimum within group difference. Finally, we just got 33 clusters of words. In other words, 33 meaningful topics, which are partly shown in this table. And we need to quantify the topic. So we just calculate the weighted term frequency of each topic of 1/3 candidate according to the election promise. Thus, for each candidate, there would be 33 new variables as a topic index and are the form of percentage. This is the logistic regression analysis result. We just use this one to compare elected and non-elected candidates. And according to the results, we just found that, okay, the policy preference indeed exists in the 2018 Taiwan local councilor election. You can see that successful election results were positively associated with a certain group of topics of election promises. And specifically, candidates who put more emphasis on just like agricultural product sales, education, tourism, smart city, labor issue, and safety in other topics are more likely to be elected, in addition to the previous councillorship. This is the result. And let's draw our discussion and conclusion. Our findings resonate with the literature. First, we just found the link between candidates and voters. The topic distribution of one candidate can present his or her policy focuses. And if the policy focus is consistent with the policy preference of voters, the candidate is more likely to be elected. Second, according to our result, we can just find that, okay, what voters care about the most could be observed. And compared with the presidential election of Taiwan, and in the presidential election, they focus more on international and military topics. But for local councilor election, the candidates focus more on topics closely related to the daily life of local residents. And finally, for the methodology, this study verified the applicability and the feasibility of the innovative idea of topic extracting. I mean, from word to vector to k-means clustering, and applied it to the Chinese natural language processing application. Okay, that's all. Thank you.